Hey guys, this is ampfy. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know what you're thinking. This is a game that I've never uploaded before. And you're right. It's Destiny. I've been playing since about July and absolutely fell in love with the game. The latest content that's dropped in Destiny is the new dungeon. It's called Pit of Heresy. The pit consists of 4 encounters. The first encounter requires taking out sword bearers. Above the sword bearer will be 3 symbols. Each symbol above the sword bearer will correspond to a temple with that same symbol above it. Once you find the symbol you are looking for, there will be a pit keeper outside the temple with some ads surrounding it. Clear the ads and go inside with your sword that you obtained from the sword bearer. Inside each temple, there will be 3 different kinds of bosses. The first boss you can encounter is a wizard called Omen of the Broken Blade. To defeat this boss, you'll want to use your sword and use your secondary attack and right click while trying to avoid the other 2 wizards that spawn with this boss. To take out the other 2 wizards quickly, the best method I found was using edgewise, since these other wizards have solar shields. Once the Omen of the Broken Blade is eliminated, the crest with that corresponding symbol above the temple will disappear. Continue to the next temple you see with the same corresponding symbol above it. The second boss you will encounter is a knight by the name of Might of the Broken Blade. The best way to beat this boss is using your primary attack twice and then blocking his sword attack. Once you get in the rhythm, it becomes quite easy. Something to watch out for is the thrall that spawn in with the knight, which can be taken care of easily by using the secondary attack, taking multiple enemies out with a single swipe. Once the knight is eliminated, the crest with that corresponding symbol above the temple will disappear. As you did before, continue to the next temple you see with the same corresponding symbol above it. This will be the last symbol you will need to cleanse. The last and final boss of this encounter goes by the name of Oracle of the Broken Blade. To defeat this boss, you will want to block the Shrieker shots with your sword. Along with this Shrieker, there will also be 2 ogres that you will want to take out beforehand. A honed edge shot from Izanagi's will take them out if you hit the crit. After all the temples have been cleansed, a green beam will shoot up in the air, revealing where the exit is. Eliminate the pit keeper and the ads around it, and that will conclude the first encounter. Before arriving at the second encounter, you will want to continue down the walkway until you reach the end, where you will see a whole wall of doors. Hop down to the lowest level on the right, where there will be a small crevice you will want to enter. Once you are through the crevice, you will want to follow the path until you see a red lantern on the right side. When you arrive here, you will want to go into your video settings and cap your frames at 30 and run through the loading zone. Failing to cap your frames could result in the loading zone killing you instead. Once you are past the loading zone, go into your video settings again and uncap your frames so they go back to what they were before. Hop down from rock to rock until you reach a large cave with 3 lanes. This is where you will start the second encounter. Once you hop down and exit spawn, the encounter will start. This encounter can be quite confusing, but someone on Twitter by the name of Dumbledrag drew this map to simplify things. The best route for this is starting off spawn and going in cave 3, clearing ads, and then taking out the knight with a honed edge shot. There will be an ogre somewhat close to you, so you will have to wait for him to walk around the corner closer to spawn. Once the ogre has moved, you will want to ball skate to the leftmost deposit area. A brief explanation for ball skating is jumping, meleeing, and then immediately hitting jump again. This is most effective on a warlock. Once you arrive at the area to deposit the first ball, when heading back on your right, there will be a small cave where you can take cover from and watch where the ogre is going. After the ogre has moved away from you, sprint around the corner and into cave number 1. If you can't make it to the first cave, you can also drop down on the cliff underside and use the secret entrance to a smaller cave where about 8 or 9 thrall will spawn inside one by one. Once the coast is clear, go out the left side exit and turn right. Find the entrance to cave number 1 and kill the ads inside, along with the knight with a honed edge shot. Grab the orb, go to the other end of the cave exit, and deposit the orb in the middle area. After the second orb has been deposited, you can play it safe by going back to where you were before you deposited and sticking to the right until you need to cross to the left and enter in the second cave, where you will once again clear the ads in the cave and take out the knight that drops the orb. Once the orb has been collected, you will want to run outside to the other side of cave number 2 and deposit the orb when there are no ogres around. After all 3 orbs have been deposited, the barrier will come down and you can escape to safety on the stage where the third encounter will begin. This encounter, in my opinion, is the hardest encounter of the dungeon by far to do solo. For this, I would suggest using Nezarec Sin on the Warlock and Bottom Tree Voidwalker with Devour. The loadout I recommend is Izanagi's Burden, Recluse, and 21% Delirium, if you have them, of course. To start the encounter, you will want to kill the Hive kneeling down in front of the plate. The main thing you will want to be focused on is not getting off the plate for too long or it will wipe you. When standing on the plate, waves of adds will spawn from left side, right side, and in the middle from the alleys you cleared in the second encounter. Along with the adds spawning, there will also be heretical knights that spawn from each lane. Use your Izanagi's Burden and hit them with a honed edge shot. You still want to make sure that your Devour is being cycled so you don't lose your health regen. After the knight has been taken out, you will want to clear the adds around the orb. Once the coast is clear, secure the orb and run back to the plate so that your Curse of Suffering doesn't rise too high. Deposit the orb, which will reset your Curse of Suffering. Put a rift down while still cycling the Devour. There will be waves coming from all sides like before, but there will also be one Boomer Knight on the left and right side above you. These will be your main priority since their attack hits quite hard and it is a constant attack. Once the adds have been cleared and the Boomer Knights have been eliminated, you will want to repeat this process 6 times to cleanse each Hive symbol on the arch behind you. If you are stuck on this encounter, just keep practicing it. Practice makes perfect on this one. To summarize my strat, the best way I found was kill adds, wait for the knight to make his way up, keep my Devour going, pick up the orb, drop the orb before I deposit to kill another add to keep Devour procced, deposit the orb, throw a rift down, focus the 2 Boomer Knights, and then clear the room until only a few adds remain to keep Devour procced. This encounter includes getting into a rhythm, rinsing and repeating, and not panicking. After the third encounter, the giant Hive egg will open and will reveal a drop down with about 5 layers in a tower going down. It is important to note that the lanterns with spikes will not kill you, but they will only just bump you. For the first layer, you will want to get as far to the right as you can to avoid the vertical spikes and time the horizontal spikes to just right after they have passed. The second layer is just dropping down without missing the platform. For the third layer, you want to move more to the left side and time the horizontal spikes to just right after they have passed. The fourth layer is similar to the second layer, just be sure to land on the platform below it when you drop down. The final layer is like the first and third layer. Just time the horizontal spikes to just right after they have passed. I know I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but take it slow because I've ruined my flawless runs in the past from dropping down too quickly. After dropping down, you will see 3 Hive symbols that look sort of familiar from the first encounter and even the third encounter. It is completely RNG based on what symbols you get. This encounter can be quite confusing, but yet again, we have another map thanks to Primo Pastafarian on Reddit, who made this detailed map of where each symbol is located and where certain hazards are located. Once you have found what places you need to cleanse, make your way through the parkour maze. When you reach a place that needs to be cleansed, there will be a horde of adds along with a wizard with a solar shield. Using Edgewise, Ancient Gospel, or Hush are all really good things to take out the wizard's solar shield with. You can also knock the wizard off the edge if you get lucky enough. Once the wizard has been eliminated, all the adds around it will despawn. You will have to cleanse 2 more places with the according symbol above it before you finish the jumping puzzle. After the 3 symbols have been cleansed, the entrance to the 4th encounter will unlock. To get to the area where the final encounter takes place, you will want to go through the doorway, drop down on the walkway, take your first left, and follow the path until you see the new instance load. Take a right and continue down the walkway, then drop down to where there will be an area to place a raid banner. The best loadout for this is personal preference. For me, I used Nezarec Sin with Bottom Tree Voidwalker, and then Mountaintop, Recluse, and Anarchy, if you have them, of course. Some people prefer to use Top Tree with Couch vs. Hold to do more DPS, but for the sake of being safe, I made sure to have Devour in my back pocket if things got rocky. To start the encounter, shoot 1 Anarchy shot on each of the Swordbearer Knights and clear the adds around it. In the left tower, the Might of the Broken Blade resides, in which you will need to pick up the sword from the Swordbearer, hit your light attack twice, and then block and keep the same rhythm like you did in the first encounter. After you eliminate the knight will drop an orb. With your remaining sword reserves, do damage by sending heavy attacks from the left tower all the way to the right tower, as the burst from the sword will travel all the way across if you aim at head level of the wizard. When you run out of reserves, kill another sword bearer and use the heavy attack to take out the omen of the broken blade and any adds around it. The last tower, which is the one on top, will require you to deflect the attack back onto the Oracle of the Broken Blade. Once all 3 mini-bosses have been eliminated, you will need to take the orb and deposit each orb when Zelmek isn't around watching it. The orbs will despawn but respawn with a group of Thrall each time an orb respawns. Once all 3 orbs have been deposited, it will begin DPS phase. For this, you will want to stick an Anarchy in the center of each plate where the Thrall spawn. You will want to start the DPS phase by throwing your Oppressive Darkness nade, then 2 shots of Anarchy and Nova Bomb while constantly shooting mountaintop shots and keeping an eye out for cursed Thrall surrounding you. When the constant damage goes away from Anarchy, shoot 2 more Anarchy shots on Zelmek. It is important to note that you will want to position yourself so that Zelmek is behind the crystal so you don't get hit by his blazing fire attack that will wipe you even if you are in a well. Keep repeating this process until Zelmek slams his sword into the ground. If you stay in the circle for too long while he is in this animation, he will eventually wipe you, so it's best to play it safe here. Repeat the same pattern for each damage phase until the boss has been eliminated. It is also important to note that Zelmek doesn't have an enrage mechanic, so you can take as many phases as you need. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative and helpful. This was my first time doing a voiceover kind of video or even a Destiny video in general, so any feedback you guys can provide is very much appreciated. If you did enjoy it, leave a like on it, and if you want to see more Destiny content like this, be sure to subscribe. Thanks and have a great day. See you in the next video, guys.